Hey Eric,
Hey, John.
how's it going tonight?
It's going all right. It's going all right. I got, I don't know. I, I'm losing my thoughts already, and we haven't even started.
Well, we're recording a little early because I take off on a trip on Friday,
Yeah,
so
not a short one either.
I will be remote for the next two recordings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which
I
will
look
be
forward to the check-ins.
will be my first trip to India, so I'm excited about that.
It's a lot of
Um,
fun.
oh, um,
I enjoyed being there. I did not enjoy getting there or returning from there. It's a long flight, my friend.
yeah, yeah. I'm I'm not looking forward to the sitting for quite so long, but um,
Podcast, book,
yeah,
podcast,
exactly.
book.
Yeah, I think I told you my son and I started book four of
Right.
uh, Words of Radiance, or
Month away, a little over a month
yeah, yeah,
away.
yeah. So I think I might. Are we gonna have enough time to finish it by the time I get home? I don't know. We still have 45 hours to go. That's a very, very, very long book.
It is.
So
Uh,
yeah. Anyway, yeah. There's plenty of books. That's what I'll probably do. I'll probably download. I don't know, two or three books,
mm,
and
yeah. Okay.
anyway, it's okay.
Yeah.
I can keep myself amused. But anyway, it'll be good. And I'm staying there over a weekend, so I'm gonna one of our friends there is gonna take us out on the weekend for some sightseeing. So it will not just be a work trip.
Yeah.
It's always kind of the worst when you go a
That's
long
nice.
ways and then you literally see. I saw the hotel, I saw a conference room, I saw a cab between the hotel
Yeah.
and the conference room,
And I came home.
and then I saw the airport.
Yeah.
But anyway, but that'll be
That'd be
good.
good.
That'll be good. Well, how was your
Yeah.
weekend?
So my weekend was we have a desk chair. So we have a desk that's in the on the main floor, which is where kind of the family computer is.
Sure.
And the desk chair seen better days.
Okay.
And so my wife said, we should go to IKEA and get a better desk chair. I said, all right, let's
Said
go
no
looking
one
for.
ever.
Yeah, my wife said that. So I'm like, all right, we'll go. So we went and we found a nice chair. She likes the chair.
Okay.
And so we acquired the chair.
Okay.
Put it all together. But IKEA cracks me up.
Does it fit?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it actually looks nice. Now, I will say that I ordered some replacement wheels because it's on carpet where we're at. And
Okay.
those desk chair wheels that it comes with that don't really roll, the little plastic things,
Sure.
you know what I'm talking about
Yeah, yeah.
for office chairs. So I went on Amazon because you can go on Amazon and buy anything.
Sure you can.
And I bought rollerblade style replacement
Oh,
wheels. So
interesting.
it'll roll better on the carpet. And the trick with those is because IKEA is not is its stuff
Nothing in
is
IKEA fits anything else.
no, but Amazon also has make sure you buy this if your chair is from IKEA.
Ah,
Otherwise, buy this if
I
your
see.
chair is from because it's millimeters are different. So the little plug
Sure.
that it sticks in the bottom is a
Sure.
different size.
Of course it is.
So fortunately, I got the box that said for IKEA chairs,
Okay.
and it works great.
And
And
did
she
it?
loves her chair,
Ah, that's awesome.
and it rolls around just nice, perfectly fine. So
That's pretty cool.
that was most of my weekend.
I think if I had those kind of rolly chairs on my chair, I'd probably wouldn't be able to like lean back in it without it like skidding back, right?
Yeah, no,
Insufficient friction for a concrete floor.
you discover that that your floor is not truly level. I had a chair in my office in the basement that I had those rollerblade wheels on. And if you just set the chair by itself, it would slowly roll to a corner of the room if the wheels were set just right, everything just lined up just right. So we discovered that my office floor, it's not level.
Not quite
Not quite.
level.
it looks level, but it's not.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And then the other big excitement was so my boy is in college, and we got him a nice MacBook Air for college.
Okay.
That we said, look, I know you're a teenage boy, but please take care of this. This is not cheap.
Oh, uh-oh.
And I get a text message, hey, Dad, with a picture, the screen on my Mac broke. And I look at it, and I know exactly what he did wrong. So I said, well, what happened? And he's like, I don't know. I was, he was upset. Turns out he had found a really cool small rock, and he set it on the laptop,
the keyboard
area, in the space where there's not keys, and forgot about it and closed the laptop lid. Crack. And me, not being as dumb as I look, had acquired AppleCare specifically because I knew something was going to happen. And it still was a $99 copay plus the $80 a year, whatever it is for AppleCare. So, but he got a brand new screen, which otherwise would have cost $600 or $700.
I was going to say a lot. Yeah.
So, anyways, he had to learn how to do that. And he was like, Dad, it's midterms next week. What am I going to do? I'm like, well, here's what you do. And we went through the whole, go find the AppleCare. It's usually in the university bookstore, or if not there, they'll know where. I had Googled it, so I knew where he needed to end up anyways. Sure. But I wanted him to figure this out on his own, right?
Sure.
So, but anyways, he got it back after 3 days. They took it, had it for 3 days. He's got it back. Dad, it's brand new. It looks like brand new. I'm like, well, then they did a good job. Good job. Please be more careful in the future.
Rocks do not go with computer screens.
But his first comment was, can I get a screen protector? I'm like, that's not what would have saved you.
That does not behave how you think that behaves.
No, it's not magic. Anyway, so that was kind of my exciting weekend, was a guerrilla shopping at Ikea.
There you go.
Got to weave through, follow the errors, and rebel and jump through the gaps in
I was going to say,
spots.
Only go through the arrows if you literally want to treat it like it is a maze where...
Yeah, an exercise. You're trying to get in your steps for the day.
You're hitting
go to Ikea.
every single part of the floor.
No. I saw some story that some guy, I don't remember where, some person got arrested for putting arrows on the floor in Ikeas, pointing different directions.
Oh, no.
I mean, what a prank. But I'm sure Ikea was not pleased.
I feel like we've already seen these chairs before, honey.
That's right. Why have we gone in circles? Anyways, so good stuff.
At least you could find some Swedish meatballs.
Yeah. So how was your weekend?
My weekend was very busy. Very busy. Yeah, I don't know if I should enumerate everything, but I also have a weird life, as you know, sometimes. Mm-hmm. So Saturday morning, the bowl arrived.
Now this is the Loner Bowl, right?
This is the Loner Bowl, yes. Okay. And they just pulled him up in a stock trailer and put a halter on him and walked him out and put him in the pasture. And and our girls were like, "What are you doing?" and so no, but they're good. They're good. So so that was and literally that was like such a non-event. Clearly well trained, and that's awesome. So and I don't know. So I feel bad because the guy and the gal we are renting them the bowl from, I don't know. They seem so young. I don't know. They're probably in their 20s or something like that. And I was just like, oh, good job, guys. I didn't say anything, obviously.
Yeah.
But figuring out a way to make it. Anyway, I thought that was cool. So that was good. And then we had some friends over, and then we had symphony tickets, which the symphony was amazing on Saturday night. The whole thing
Mm.
was awesome. It was the New World Symphony, which
Ah, yeah, yeah.
is totally famous. Yeah, most people could,
Hmm.
and I don't know why I didn't put together that it was actually in celebration, sort of the Americas, because that was kind of in the days when
It's
America was becoming,
it's in the name.
and it's in the
Yeah.
name.
I just
So I didn't say it wasn't dumb, but for me on my part, I I I, I was just like, oh, I guess I don't know. When I think I don't know. I think
it's
like
just
Zarathustra or something, like it's like space or new worlds and like planets and the Imperial March and yeah, that's not what it's about.
uh,
Anyway, it was very
okay.
good,
Yeah, yeah.
very enjoyable. Really enjoyed that. And then
Okay.
and then Sunday, the funny thing, I feel like I had a bit of a, oh, I don't know, I don't really believe in this kind of stuff, but like foreshadowing or something like that, because I
Hmm.
woke up Sunday morning with this dream of like, when you wear rubber boots and you have short socks and the socks just like pretty much go down to your toes.
And
I don't know.
feet get
Maybe.
sweaty.
Well, no, just the walking in the boots, just like the socks don't stay up and they go down,
I
and it really bothers me. And
mm,
you should really never wear short socks and tall rubber boots. But um, you know what I really should have put on, even if I had not changed my socks on Sunday morning? Rubber boots. So
so wait a second. You didn't wear rubber boots.
no. But I dreamed about it
Oh,
before, and then
so you
and then
dreamed of
and
wearing
then
rubber boots and then you didn't.
I didn't, and I regretted it.
Uh,
It was weird. Anyway, so yeah, Sunday morning, like it's getting on to winter time, and one of the things we have to do is we have to take up this temporary fence that we've had down where the cows have
uh-huh.
been for the last number of months, and
Okay.
uh, and it's getting late in the season. Turns out there's like maybe 8 to 10 inches of water in the corner where I had to get to. And
Mm,
so we, kind of
rubber
explored,
boots.
could I make it there without it? And I had waterproof like ankle boots on, so I could have stood in like, I'll say 2 inches of water. Yeah, it was not 2 inches of water. So anyway, it was it's
Okay.
super pleasant, but we got it done. It's like 2 hours of work,
Mm,
and everything's good for a while, and or for it takes 2 hours to put it up in the sort of early summer, and 2 hours to take it down in the fall, and it's really good. But yeah, it was so funny because I was like, my, my my wife's like, you want to go back up to the house to get boots? And I'm like, no, I'll just walk. So I tromp into the swamp,
slosh,
and
slosh, slosh.
yeah, like
Now your socks are down by your toes because they're
uh,
soaking wet now.
yeah, no, it was miserable-ish. I mean, it's not like it
Eh,
was.
yeah.
It's not like it's not like I'm gonna melt. But she was like, she's like, be careful touching careful touching the wires before you get it turned off. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was very careful.
Standing in a puddle of water. Okay. I got you.
Conductivity maximum.
There you go.
Um, but anyway, so that was fun. And then in the afternoon on Sunday, I told you we rescued that goose, and we
Yeah.
were building a chicken hutch, and the decision was to keep the chicken hutch for chickens, not for geese. Goose.
Okay. Goose.
He probably needs a friend, but he doesn't have a friend yet. But
Okay.
I will not be surprised if he has a friend in not too long. But so bought a my son and I went and bought a dog house off of Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something like that. And
For the goose?
to be a goose house. Yeah. Yeah. So
Does it have an automatic garage door?
no.
Geese are cool. They don't
The
need it.
goose will just have to suffer. I mean, I don't know. It has a little
Geese are
porch.
nocturnal.
He's supposed to be the guardian goose, so You know, I
So,
don't
so
know.
is this going to be like the luxury
Sacrifice.
chicken coop sitting next to like the poor guy, the goose
Exactly
in his
right.
own little goose
Ex-
doghouse?
exactly right.
Uh,
There you have the chicken palace and the goose squalor
slums.
slums. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
It's a nice-ish looking doghouse. But anyway, so that was fun. So and anyway, that just it was a long weekend. It was a long
Yeah.
weekend. Got a lot done though, which is good.
I
But
I need to come out sometime and see all these tiny houses you're now building across your property for various animals. I'm I'm entertained. To be fair, I'm easily entertained. It's not a tough thing
I'm just like
to
whatever.
do.
We'll do it. I can do it. If that's it's fun. It's fun. It's cool.
Okay.
All right. Hey, I threw something in follow up.
I saw that. And I
Um,
don't remember if we mentioned it was only 22-bit.
I didn't remember that.
I didn't remember it either. So this is probably a very good follow-up.
It's a critical bit of data. So this is about
Yeah.
the quantum computing or quantum computer factoring RSA, and the quote from Rob Joyce is they attacked a trivial 22-bit key. You know that. Let's see, there was a quote. Oh, not in this, but I think there was a quote in one of the things that I saw about this that 512-bit RSA was broken in 1999 pretty trivially. So 22-bit not a problem. Although the link we'll put in here for follow up is to a LinkedIn article by a guy that just had a tiny bit more detail about the actual source paper, which was they factored a 22-bit RSA number, but they showed that they can easily factor numbers that would be used in RSA4 through RSA50 using the technique.
Mm.
But that's a very, very long way from
Yeah.
being able to factor, 1024 or 2048-bit
Yeah.
keys. Very, very, very long way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Fair point.
But I mean, the premise of quantum breaking quantum vulnerable algorithms is that the work is not proportional to the bit length,
Right.
which is the whole point.
Yeah.
But they did say that I thought this was fun too. The largest number they factored in their paper was trillion, 845 trillion, 546 billion, 611 million, 823,483, which is the product of 40 million, 52,303 and 21,111,061. Anyway,
Okay.
that seems, there you go. I don't know. That's
That
just
seems
fun.
very accurate.
That's just, I assume that was a 50-bit,
Precise.
50-bit number.
Okay.
Since it says they showed they can easily factor numbers that would be used in RSA4 through RSA50, but I didn't actually count the bits in that.
Cool.
Anyway, so there you go. We still a ways before we have to worry too terribly much about quantum. Still some time to deploy those quantum resistant algorithms.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right.
How about a topic?
So mine, I'm going a little old school here.
Okay.
Going back to our breach of the week, which we haven't done.
But haven't done that for a long time.
There was an insurance administrative services company named Landmark Admin. Apparently, they are a third-party administrator for other insurance companies. It appears to be mostly life insurance companies. But anyways, they suffered a breach that affected over 800,000 people in May. And the fun thing about this one is the document. You made a comment, I think, was a few weeks ago, where I had just read the paper, and then you're like, that's not real. It was like 17th century or 18th century or whatever it was. Well, here's another one like that. It says, in a filing with the Maine Attorney General's office, hearing that, you and I both understand that that's the state of Maine.
The state of Maine?
The spelling is MAIN without the E.
Well, maybe it's the
Attorney General's
primary
Office. It's
Attorney
the
General's.
primary, the most important, the number one Attorney General's office. Anyways, okay. We need to start a podcast like mostly editing failures or mostly AI generated news articles podcast.
BCRU are words, not letters.
I love it when you can slip it in Weird Al quote. Landmark, the company says it detected that suspicious activity in May 13th, 2024. They shut down their IT systems and remote access to prevent spread of the attack, and they engaged a third-party cybersecurity company, didn't say who, to help them investigate whether data was stolen. In the investigation, they found that it had that they had lost or had been compromised information of 806,519 people.
Ooh.
So, what got lost? If you have life insurance, I with someone, you might be contacted because they lost the first and last name, address, social security number, tax identification number, driver's license number, state issued identification card, passport number, financial account number, medical information, because if you do life insurance, you usually got to fill out some kind of medical fitness form, date of birth, health insurance policy number, life and annuity policy information. So pretty much all the crown
Pretty
jewels.
much all the data.
Yeah. So the breach occurred, and I imagine some folks will be getting letters in the mail soon. So there you go. Breach of the week. A third-party administration tool.
Was this filed with the Maine Security Office the same way the Oregon Zoo? Because, total number of Maine residents affected, 566 out of 806,519.
So they had to file with the state of Maine.
Nicely
Thank you,
done.
state of Maine.
I love these laws that require disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
Go Maine.
All right. So there you go. That's my article for the week. Breach of the week.
When are the other states going to do that? And then you could aggregate across them, and that'll be in like USA Facts or something like that. Okay. Fun. Well, you know what? The article I chose to do this week is I kind of did for nostalgia purposes.
Okay.
Because there was a article, I think I got this in email today, about the some recent Spectre techniques.
Oh, and old hardware CPU security flaws.
Yeah, out of order execution and side channel. Because we talked about this in episode 9.
Nice.
9.
That's 6 years ago now.
It is 6 years ago, yeah. It was the 4th episode we ever published, and Carl Woodward. We didn't know really what we were going to be doing back at that point. We might have guests. A friend of ours joined that, and I don't even think we were calling ourselves mostly security at that point. It was dev random.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought, this is cool. So, in fact, it says more than 6 years after the Spectre security flaw came to light, new research has found that the latest AMD and Intel processors are still susceptible to speculative execution attacks. So this is an attack that tries to undermine the indirect branch predictor barrier, IBPB, on x86 chips. Because for this whole out-of-order execution, if for the speculative execution at least, or branch prediction, if they take the wrong branch and they have to roll back or unwind the instructions that had been executed, they're declared invalid and squashed, supposedly, before the processor can resume execution with the correct value. But And here's the quote. It says, while the execution results of transient instructions are not committed to the architectural program state, it is still possible for them to load certain sensitive data into a processor cache through a forced misprediction, thereby exposing it to a malicious adversary that would otherwise be blocked from accessing it. The microcode flaw, so on Intel it's a microcode flaw, it says the microcode flaw retains branch predictions such that they may still be used after IBPB should have invalidated them. Such post-barrier speculation allows an attacker to bypass security boundaries imposed by process contexts and virtual machines. AMD's variant is actually a Linux kernel vulnerability. It says it can be similarly bypassed due to how IBPB is applied by the Linux kernel, resulting in an attack codenamed post-barrier inception that enables an unprivileged adversary to leak privileged memory on AMD Zen 1 Plus and Zen 2 processors. So, very, very clever. Very clever. And, essentially that means the mitigation is different for each of them. On Intel, you need to update the microcode. And on AMD, you need to, if you're running a Linux kernel on an AMD device, you need to make sure that the kernel is patched. But yeah, it's been a while since I feel like since we talked about Spectre. We also did some follow up in I don't remember when this would have been, 21, I guess, in episode 161. It says there was some, let's see, what is it? It says a look back 3 years at Spectre and Meltdown. So 3 years. It's pretty funny. Okay, there you go. Every 3 years, maybe this is a thing.
There you go.
Anyway, there you go. That was my topic.
So
fun.
Episode 520, you'll get our next update.
Something like that. All right, my friend. How about something fun?
So my something fun, it just was an interesting fact that I don't know what I thought was the right answer, but it sounds impressive.
42.
Yes, exactly. Scientists have traced 70% of meteorite falls, so meteorites that fall to Earth, to 3 collisions that occurred in the asteroid belt within the last 400 million years. So basically, the key here is we now know where the meteorites that fall to Earth came from. So
interesting.
Previously, so before these new papers that were published in the Nature, previously scientists had only identified the origins of 6% of all the meteorite falls. So this is how I'm reading this. So you can correct me if it sounds off to you, but we have 100 meteorite falls. We know where 6 of them came from. They either came from bits of the moon, bits of Mars, or the asteroid 4 Vesta. That's how I read this.
Okay.
Yeah, clearly
6%.
there's more than 100 that have fallen, but 6%, right?
Okay.
So because meteorites wander for many years in the asteroid belt, and we've got all these meteorites that have fallen to Earth, but we just don't know where they're from. Now, an exhaustive search by an international team has succeeded in tracking down sources of most of these meteorites. The researchers started by gathering data on major main belt asteroid families whose members are parts of a larger body that split apart long ago. The data include the orbits of asteroid family members, their infrared spectra, and information about their exposure to cosmic rays. So the researchers simulated the body's orbital movements over time, calculating collisional histories as well as the effects of exposure to solar heating, cosmic rays, gravity, and other forces that could change their orbits. And it showed that 3 groups of stony chondrites dominate the current meteor flux. So I don't know what you want to do with that information.
Interesting.
But we used to not know where the meteorites came from. Now we do. Science.
But, so, okay.
I feel like you're confused, John.
I feel like I'm tracking the math on that. That's great. But, like, could all meteorites be tracked back to one collision between two bodies that actually formed the asteroid belt? Or was the asteroid belt there with some, medium to large meteorites, and a couple of those crashed together and formed a whole bunch of them? Like, was this in the formation of the meteor belt itself, or like after the meteor belt was formed and that would just happen to be small things? Like tracking it back to just 2 or 3 collisions. Like, I feel like we could probably track many of humans back to like 2 or 3 like common
Sure.
ancestors, because at some point you get far enough back and I don't know. So anyway, that was the look of confusion on my face of and
You're
also
thinking harder about this
I
than I
don't
did.
I don't know what H ordinary chondrites and L families of chondrites are either. I don't know anything about geology.
Uh,
Is this considered geology or asteroids?
astrogeology,
I guess I
maybe?
don't know.
Anyways, there's a cool picture
Yeah, it's a very cool picture.
that's
Yeah.
the image is only 3 millimeters wide, so you're examining the
Wow.
tiny structure of the rock to see what the light and the gamma rays and all the things they had to study to figure out where it came from, and they matched everything
That's so
to
cool.
something very cool.
Okay, that's
So
very cool. Very
there you
cool.
go. That's
That
my
that
something
that,
fun.
that counts as fun. Evidently, so I don't think I had really internalized that you were doing that, and I chose something space related as well. So
Space is cool.
space is fun. So this is a Popular Mechanics article that says that scientists think they have gathered compelling evidence for the presence of an exomoon. So, of
What?
course,
Okay.
like we would all agree that there are moons in other solar systems. There are many, many moons just within our
Uh-huh.
solar system. So, of course, there are moons in other solar systems.
Sure.
But we haven't been able to see them yet because, by the way, solar systems are very far away.
Hmm.
But this is supposedly compelling evidence for the presence of an exomoon. It says by analyzing the movements of a mysterious cloud of sodium moving around the planet WASP 49b, the team was able to construct a compelling argument for this being the presence
Mm.
of an exomoon.
Okay.
There has never been a confirmed detection of an exomoon to date. Um, so it says they found candidates, but
They just didn't have compelling arguments.
it says they've found candidates, but have yet to confirm anything. In part because several candidates have become less likely with more data, and in part because of
Ah.
just how truly difficult exomoons are to see. In general, they're
Hmm.
dim, small, and block less light from stars for less time than planets.
Mm. Yeah.
You've seen some of those things. They're literally tracking like a pixel or
Yeah.
2 pixels as it transits the sun, some remote star, and now you're like, okay, now is there a moon that's orbiting that pixel? Anyway, but in this particular thing, it says the cloud was first discovered in 2017, and the scientists have been studying it pretty much ever since then, in the hopes that it is indicative of a volcanic exomoon.
So they wanted the bonus part. So not just an exomoon, a volcanic exomoon.
Well, the so here's the thing. It says because I cut that out, or I clipped that. It says by all accounts the sodium shouldn't be there. WASP 49b is a hot Saturn-like planet, and the star it orbits are both made primarily of hydrogen and helium. The trace amounts of sodium they do have could in no way maintain this cloud, which seems to be actively replenished at a rate of 220,000 pounds of sodium per second. But nonetheless, it is. So, uh, so they ran a bunch of observations. They ran models to try and understand the behavior of the cloud. Eventually, they found that its seemingly irregular movements in front of, behind, and around both WASP 49 and WASP 49b, as well as its apparent lack of tether to any particular spot on the surface of WASP 49b, were best matched by the presence of a moon on an 8-hour-long orbit around the planet. So,
Okay.
so this Um, says these already exciting data points are further strengthened by the fact that we already have a moon behaving pretty much this exact way in our own backyard. Io is the most volcanically active
Jupiter's
yeah,
mini
moon
moons.
in our solar system. And Io is, yeah, very obviously volcanically active. So that could be your source of sulfur, cloud of sulfur or orbiting a planet that does not itself is not itself composed of sulfur. There you go.
Okay.
Maybe if that's the way to say that. So there is the title of this whole article was like we may have found our first ever exomoon. Oh no, it was the subtitle. After a number of false alarms, we need to act fast to figure out if this is the real deal. Like, act fast. Like what? Like this deal's going to go away? Well, it's more that if the moon, they're basically saying on a cosmic scale, the moon is, exploding parts of itself and will eventually disintegrate and have a very destructive ending. So probably before any humans actually make it there, sure. But
Yeah.
anyway, there you go.
Okay.
Good evidence of a possible exomoon. I remember back when it was like trying to gather, just evidence for planets.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Space for the win, for the fun win.
It's very exciting. So there you go. Yep, a night of fun, of space funds.
Cool.
There you go.
All right, John, I'll let you get back to preparing for your trip.
All right, my friend.
And next week we will chat about your long flight.
Oof. Okay. I'm not thinking about it yet.
All right.
All right. I'll see you
Have a
later,
good
Eric.
one.
Bye.
Bye.